welcome to episode 2 of Ask the YAs. Huge thanks to you all for sending in your questions. Let's have a look what the team had to say.
So the first question I will be answering today is, how did you get involved as a Young Ambassador and what do Young Ambassadors do? So for the first part, I got involved as I was on NCS back in summer 2016, and we were doing some community project work, and we did something with Number 5 as part of that. We filmed some videos because I was very much into media back then, and they offered at the end of kind of talking to us about what they do if we wanted to sign up to become a Young Ambassador, because young people being the voice of Number 5 are a very big part of what we do, seeing as we are a charity aimed at young people. So that was kind of what they were looking for, was young people to be Young Ambassadors, and I had counselling back in 2014 at Number 5, so this felt like a good time for me. It had been 2 years since I'd had that experience, and I really wanted to give back because they had given me so much. So I filled in a little form, and we did some emails, and I had a little meeting to talk about what it was that we were going to be doing, and if I still wanted to go ahead, and kind of my input and what I wanted to do and what I wanted to get out of it, which was really exciting. And so the second part of what do, we do a whole host of things. It could be just from attending and speaking at annual meetings, fundraising activities, so Santa runs, dragon boat races, or even just helping to run the stall when we're at places. For example, Reading Pride, we're there every year. We also have done simple things such as painting the building when we move buildings, just to kind of get involved and help a bit, and it can be just cutting stuff up for events that we're having, so our display boards that we take places, but it can also be from presenting a performing arts concert that we run annually, so we write what we're going to say about each act and introduce each act each year, and we also help to write the programmes and pack together the bags and stuff, so we're very much hands-on in what we do. One thing that I do a lot is deliver workshops, so going out into schools and local businesses and delivering them workshops on a whole host of different topics surrounding either mental health or social media, body image, a lot of things that are very important in young people today, and that's something that I really enjoy doing. I'm trying to think of what else we do. There is so much that we do. More recently, we've been creating a lot of online content, so for example these videos, the Make It For May stuff that we're doing. We're also writing blog posts, which is exciting, is that something that I've always kind of had an interest in, so getting to use those interests is quite fun. We've also created videos. I could go on for absolutely ages about all the work that we have done, but yeah, there's always something for someone to be doing, which is really interesting, and stuff that tailors to each of our interests. So I very much like standing up and sharing my story, so workshops work very well for me. And for example, Ellie really enjoys art, so the whole Make It For May has been a really good topic for her to be doing, and she also helped with creating our colouring book that we did. So yeah, we very much tailor to what each person enjoys, whilst getting to help people, which I think is absolutely incredible, and I really enjoy doing that.
Hi, it's Fen. I've had 2 questions asked. The first was how to get great photos using a smartphone. I don't use my smartphone much for photography. I like to work with film, more analogue stuff, and sometimes a bit of digital DSLR. But I would say if you're using a smartphone, you don't have much control over your shutter speed or your aperture, so you're going to have to put more focus into your framing, your composition, and your perspective, which means when you're looking through the lens, you're going to try and want to position things more uniquely, because it'll give you a more interesting point of view as the viewer from the photograph. And the second question asked was how to cope with anxiety during lockdown. I was diagnosed with anxiety 4 years ago, and so I've learned that a lot of it is down to what works for the individual. So some people like to keep on top of things, like to keep track of what's happening with COVID, like to follow it through the news, that calms them down, makes them feel better. Other people prefer distractions. But what I'd say works for everybody is making sure that you have a routine. So you're waking up at similar times, going to bed at similar times, keeping things consistent. And also a 7-11 breathing technique, which is where you breathe in for 7 seconds and then breathe out for 11. And if you can train yourself to do that when you start to feel yourself panic, it really calms the body down. It actually genuinely works. Thank you.
So the second question that I'll be answering is, I've been struggling to keep busy and make days feel different from each other. Do you have any tips? So I've actually written a blog post that is not yet out about this. So definitely look out for that, but I'm very happy to talk about it. I went into a lot more detail on there than I probably can in person. So for me, one of the big parts is working out what I want to do. So I typically work like 5 to sometimes 7 days a week. So suddenly going from doing that, and I was in the schoolroom for my sister, to doing absolutely nothing is something I've never actually done before in my life. I lead a very busy, active lifestyle. So it did take me a while, and I definitely have felt like this at some days and sometimes still do, which is perfectly understandable, because, you know, it's not exactly a normal situation that we're in. So one of the big things for me is I have a daily calendar, which I brought a couple of months before, probably a couple of weeks before like lockdown, and I was just on a day trip with my mum and I saw it reduced. And so you rip off, I'll actually grab it, so you rip off for each day. And so I wake up every day and do that, and I hadn't actually been keeping up with it before this. So something as simple as that is like marking off the day, maybe have a calendar and tick them off. When you first wake up, you're like, okay, today is a new day, today is Wednesday, you know what the day of the week is, because it's very, very easy to lose track. And there were days where I really was like, is it Sunday, is it Wednesday? I have no idea where I am. So that's been something I've been doing, and I've also been sending that in a group chat to my friends each day, and they found it really helpful to keep track of what the day is. So that's definitely a good place to start, is making sure that you do something to know it's a new day. And trying to stick to a normal routine. So I'd always like wake up, brush my teeth, do my hair. I normally would do like a full face of makeup, but I've just been doing like a little bit, or just mascara or something to try and keep the normal, and that I would do every day when I woke up if it was going to work, or going out with friends. Something that I would normally do has really helped keep it normal, and also that I know it's a new day. I've also been doing my bullet journal, which I normally keep up with. I haven't done it this week, and I have felt a bit all over the place, oddly. So I definitely need to keep up with doing that, but I can set goals of what I want to do each day, which is definitely a big part of it, is knowing what I want to do and not doing the same stuff every day. So there has definitely been weeks where every single day I've sat down and watched Netflix, and that is okay, but that week just feels like a complete blur and merged together. So I have a whole list of things that I want to try and do or achieve during this time. So I've been getting more into origami, and if you've seen one of my Make It For Me posts, I did origami for that. I've also been doing like writing, so whether that's like writing just my thoughts or writing some poetry, or I've also wrote letters to friends, and I date these letters as well, and then I go and post it the next day. So giving myself like activities and something to do. So if I write the letter one day and then go post it the next day, not only have I then also done something different each day, and kind of set myself that goal of, okay, tomorrow you are going to get up and you're going to get ready and you're going to leave the house and you're going to go for a walk and you're going to post this letter or post it through like a friend's letterbox. And just kind of setting yourself little goals, I have found is really helpful, and then you actually feel like you've achieved something in the day, because it's very easy to feel like that you haven't. And also in keeping busy, I've just been keeping up with friends, and we try to call, for example, like my work friends, we try to do like a weekly call each Friday night. So that makes me really want to keep track of what the days are, so I don't miss the day, and it gives me something to look forward to in the week. The other week, me and my dad, because my parents are divorced, so I've been spending this whole time with my mum. We did like a quiz night on a Saturday. Something fun, something different. We won't do it every week, because if not it's going to become a little bit boring and we're not that creative. But maybe we can do it every couple of weeks. Something fun, something different to keep it going. But yeah, activities wise, so origami, writing letters, I've been reading my book. I've been trying not to read every day, because I mean, I'm very happy doing that, but if not, I've done that every single day and it gets a bit boring. I've got a Nintendo Switch, so I've been playing Animal Crossing. I play that every day, just to get my daily tasks done, and some days I will sit and play it for a while because I find it very calming and de-stressing, just running about catching fish and stuff. And other days I've just sat in the garden and I've done some colouring, or I've created content like blog posts, and my work also have a newsletter, so I sometimes create content for that. So maybe if you work somewhere, see if they're doing like a weekly newsletter, or maybe suggest doing a weekly newsletter, to put content out for that if you want to create some content, or maybe even try starting up your own blog. Even if you don't publish it, if you just keep it private to yourself, then you can do like weekly entries or daily entries about what you've done that day. So then you'll make yourself want to do something and do something different each day so it sounds more fun. But yeah, I hope that helped. I've definitely talked for way too long about things I could do, but like I said, I have written a blog post that should be coming out soon, so definitely check that out because it's a lot more clear on there, and I've probably wrote a lot more on there for you. So I hope that helps.
So the first question I've had is, how have you been keeping busy during lockdown, and do you have any advice for how I can stay mentally well? So personally, I've been very lucky and I've been able to keep working during lockdown. I am a tutor, so I have been focusing on that and also my uni studies as well. I've also been taking part in the number 5 Young Ambassador Make It for May challenge, which has really helped inspire my creativity every day. I'm really grateful for Ellie for delivering those prompts every day to our Instagram, Facebook and Twitter pages. Another thing that you can have a look into for working on your mental health during lockdown is meditation, yoga and other methods similar to that. I personally am training in Reiki at the moment, which is a type of Japanese energy healing. If you'd like to know anything more about that, please just let me know and I can answer any questions on it. Okay, so my next question is, I've seen some posts about 60 Hours Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. Can you tell me more about it? So 60 Hours Shakespeare rehearses and puts on Shakespeare plays in 60 hours for charity. This year they have chosen to support number 5 young people and we are very grateful for that. Previously they have done performance of A Much Ado About Nothing and of Hamlet, and this year they have chosen to do A Midsummer Night's Dream. Due to the circumstances surrounding COVID-19, they have changed it to A Midsummer Night's Dream, so it's now available to watch on Zoom for free, and there will be a Just Giving page linked to that to donate to number 5 if you so wish. It was founded and is directed by Gavin Lee, and the producer is Charlotte Klein. If you have any further questions about A Midsummer Night's Dream or 60 Hours Shakespeare as a performance company in general, please don't hesitate to ask me, as I am involved in the cast this year.
So the first question I got was how to get started with arts and crafts when you feel like you're not very good at it. And I would say, first of all, it doesn't have to be perfect. Kind of focus on the making process. And if you want prompts, number 5 will be posting a new prompt every day for Make It for May. If you don't feel like using these prompts, that's fine. I also like to find inspiration from like social media, especially Pinterest or Instagram, are really useful, and they have such a wide range of different things, different styles, different mediums as well. And if you do have an idea of your own and you're just trying to get it out of your head and onto the page, using reference photos like stock images are really useful. I don't think anyone can just make something straight from their head and have it look exactly how they want, even if you've been like practicing doing art for like years and years. So there's no shame in using reference photos. Also, another prompt that I would recommend is to try and make a piece of art ugly on purpose. That way you literally can't fail, and it's all about the process of making rather than the outcome. So another person said that my course sounds really interesting and they would like to know what it involves. So basically I am studying creative expressive arts, health and wellbeing, and what we do is we run workshops using visual art, dance, drama, music, and the aim is to enhance well-being, get people like creating and expressing themselves. We also learn theory about this and write reflective essays on how the workshops went. And this also involves a placement in 3rd year, which I have just finished, working with children with autism. And we also have an art module, but that's, I think there's been some like adjustments to the course at the moment, so I don't know what it will be like next year, and I can't say that it's going to be the same.
Hi everybody, my name's Sandra and I'm a Young Ambassador for number 5. So as part of Ask the YAs, we've received a few questions that I'm happy to answer. So one of the first questions I got was, do you have any tips for staying motivated, especially to study during this time, which I know is something I've personally been struggling with, to try and prioritize all my university work and get it all done. So one of the first things I'd say is just try your best. Don't beat yourself up if you find that you're not getting as much done as you normally would. It's completely normal to struggle with productivity and just struggle with motivation because there's a lot of distractions at home. So just don't beat yourself up about it. Take it easy. Try and schedule breaks in between your work so you try and relax and then you don't overwhelm yourself with how much work you're doing, and then it helps you if you take a break as well. At the same time, I think it's important to create a timeline so you can like prioritize and structure all of your tasks so you have like a clear outline in your head of what needs to be done and what needs to be prioritized, so you don't miss any deadlines, I guess. And if you are struggling, I think it really helps to speak to someone. So maybe talk to your friends or your tutor and explain to them, I'm struggling with this piece of work. Is there any additional support or any resources that you can provide? And most of the time when I've spoken to my tutors, I've found that they're extremely helpful and they try their best to support you in any way possible. So if you are struggling, then definitely speak to someone, whether that be your friends or your teachers or anybody at your university, school, workplace, just anybody really. It definitely helps. And the second question I received was, hi, I'm really interested in studying law. Do you have any advice? And what have you particularly enjoyed studying? Which is a lovely question. I'm happy to answer that. So I really enjoyed studying contract law this year. So a lot of times in everyday life, we form contracts with other people, we don't even realize it. So even from buying a cup of coffee or buying a train ticket, everything that you make is a contract. And I've found that to be really interesting. Just all of the things that happen in business and corporate law is something that really excites me. So I really enjoyed contract, but I know a lot of people have enjoyed criminal law as well this year, and public law. So all of the things to do with Brexit and Parliament and government and things like that. So there's a lot to study in law. My advice would be to, if you're interested in studying law potentially at university or as an A-level, just try and read as much as you can about it. There's loads of lovely podcasts on Spotify and TED, and there's loads of TED Talks as well that you can be watching if you're interested in law. I'd also say maybe once this pandemic is over, you might want to go to your local courts and just you can watch trials and stuff, which is something you might be interested in. But just try and keep reading and keeping yourself informed, I guess, is the most important thing. But yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to message me. But I hope that's been helpful. If you have any more questions, please contact us. Thank you so much. See you.
And that's a wrap. So remember to send in your questions on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram using the hashtag AskTheYAs, and the team will be here next Thursday answering all of your questions. Take care and we'll see you next week.